this is where I start putting fun things together. So this little doodad is going to go right there in the top of the damper tube. After, make these holes bigger and add another pair. You leave these little ones on top alone. Those are your rebound, so you don't mess with those. These cartridge emulators only affect compression damping. So when you hit something and it goes poof, this little guy will pop up and let the oil come through. And then otherwise have a lot more control over it. Make it ride better. Or have better handling characteristics or something. As a general rule, use a 6mm 1/4" drill for damping rods smaller than 17mm and an 8mm or 5/16 drill for larger damping rods. On millimeters 20 almost counts as bigger than 17. 5/16 drill bit. That one. The round piece of fun. Some modicum of safety anyway. Contact. Oh, that'll be fine. Whee, that's loud. Okay, let my drill bit cool off. Trying to finish this hole at least. Nope. Ooh, that's good oil. I thought that was old. Well, it's cutting oil now. Ooh, warm. Big shock. Better now that it's not smoking hot. Oh yeah, likes that a lot better than off show. There we go. Come on. All right. A lot better with proper oil. And I gotta drill through one more set. Right. There we go. Got something. That is some hard material. Smaller bit and work my way up. I'm going to deburr it with a big drill bit. So this is just going to take a kiss. Knock the rest of them high parts off with a file. Yep, I'll go find me a round file and knock all them high parts off. And it's homemade fork seal driver. Let's see if I need the... Back at the workbench, going to do a bit of a reshoot on assembling the forks because too much fumbling around on the first one. I have two, so I got to practice on one and do the other one right the first time. I might drop some B-roll, not sure. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But the last time I forgot to put this little retention washer in first before the seal and ended up having to take that last one back apart. So I'm gonna do it correctly the first time. Okay, so I've already, and I'll leave that part in, modified my damper tube to handle the fork emulator, cartridge emulator. So we're just gonna dive right into it since I theoretically know what I'm up to. So, as I learned last time, this piece goes in the bottom here. Then you put a whole bit, preferably with no stuff on it. Down inside. I like to go ahead and put in the damper tube. Oh, forgot the spring. See, I'm already forgetting stuff. I'll slide down in there. Get my replacement bolt. Oh yes, this is the one I had to drill out. So that ultimately ended up looking like that. Drilled nicely, perfectly through the middle of the head, into the top of the bolt. Since I used a left-handed drill bit, once it bit into this and took all the tension off, it spun right out. So there you go. Left-handed drill bits are a thing, and anybody who's ever had to deal with screwed up fasteners will know what I'm talking about. Now I've got to find my crush washer back. Oh, there it is. These crush washers, metal, like copper, instead of rubber gaskets in some of these more permanent places. So this is my replacement bolt. It's just thankfully an M8 by 125 thread pitch. So nothing too scary there. This one has a slightly taller head, but I checked the clearance and it still clears the axle just fine. So I like to get that started because it keeps the damper tube in. Oh, gracious, like that. Kind of bottomed out there. All right, retention ring is already in place. So we'll go ahead and take my homemade pressure tool. I found an easier way to do this. I don't know why I lifted up over the top when it's two halves. There we go, seated flush. New oil seal. Yes. Works the same way. This won't take quite so much oomph because it's just a seal, not the slider, but also it's rubber, so it'll be easy. Yeah. There's a little groove for this little retention clip. Click. right in place. Dust wipe. Same old song and dance. And remember, this is just like a Schedule 80C PVC coupling. Yeah, it's a conduit fitting, it says. This one's 1 1/4 inch, third. Ground out the little lip in the middle, cut it in half. Got a smaller one for smaller forks. Super cheap. Pretty effective as evidenced. Right here. Plastic means it doesn't scrape up your aluminum. Get that little piece of, there we go, dirt out of there. Beauty cover. Wipe off my beauty cover. This serves no mechanical purpose, but it looks nice, so I'll put it back. Let's see, put the little divot from the punch back in line with the notch. Right there. Back to my current favorite tool. I'm going to try and get these split on the edge so I don't just crush the middle of it, because this won't take more force than I thought. Because it went on. Let's use the wood block here. Beep. There. There we go. Because the next step is actually to put oil in it. Let's do. Just position it. There we go. That should be good enough until I can fully assemble it and touch it again with the tool. That's my new spring. I did not lower my suspension at all. I might have lowered it 1/2 inch in the back by accident, but the front stock height. The intruder calls for 354 milliliters, I think, 12 ounces of fork oil, 10 weight. I'm using, glad that's heavy. Try not to do that. I'm using ATF. ATF is 12 weight. I've used ATF tons of times. In forks, it's just fine. Maybe a little stiffer, but that's okay. Yeah, it didn't hurt anything. That's 1/4 inch thick aluminum. It'd be all right from a slide like that. 354 milliliters is 12 ounces. It's basically a Coke's worth. Or a can of Coke, can of beer, whatever. 8, 12. May not be perfect, but there we go. Since I'm using these, this goes in next. I am using this just as they sent it to me, which I'm assuming is somewhere in the middle of its range of adjustment. It's got the middle weight spring here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish turns of preload. I think the range is between 2 and 7, so maybe it's a little on the high side. But since I've never used it before, you can see the washer stacked down in there maybe. Never used one of these before. I figure this is probably pretty close to OEM, so it's likely to be fine. Or give me a baseline. You can adjust the preload on these. You have to take the top of the fork out, but you can do that on the machine. Just reach in there with it. Take the top off, take the spring retainer out, reach in there with a magnet, pull it out, adjust the preload, drop it back in. Like seriously, it cannot turn itself sideways, so you literally just drop it in. And that's gonna splash. Yep. Put in the new spring on top. After you wipe all the sawdust off of it, because I should have a cleaner shop. Shouldn't we all? Except you pros. I am not a pro, and it shows, but that's okay. And then you need your retainer cap for your spring. Pull your tube up. I've got the right size on the wrench already. Oops, that's loose in there, tight. This was always kind of a pain. Press down and get that first thread to engage is always the hardest part. There we go. Now you see why I loosened it in the clamp. But it works. And for reinstall, we're gonna see the other one's already back in there. So here. These don't have to be perfect, it'll spin. Good and tight. Double check this one because I'm paranoid. Oh yeah, I'm good. Now that I've said that, I'll lose them, but you know. Double check the spring retention. Started.